to jack mine. First nigga fuck up to get flatlined. Pack still stainless, Scooby Bird brainless. Y'all don't wanna fuck with we. The trunk beat banging, off the chain dangling. Y'all know that I'm from CP.
You tuned in to the Stuzi J Sky Show.
Already, man. Once again, live in the office. Stuzi J Sky Show.
J Sky Show.
Got some real epic shit going on right now.
Got DF's very own.
Second generation.
You already know.
Slimm Calhoun in the goddamn building.
In the goddamn building.
Yeah, what's happening with y'all?
Man, first of all, like I said, as a fan,
okay,
I'm fully fucking stoked right now for this moment.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's crazy.
It's a dope guest.
Very.
Hey, man, you know, I'm blessed to be here, man, hanging out with y'all. You know, we right here in the world famous old school Foxy Lady, now the office, you did. In the back room, kicking it.
Hey, man. First of all, again, we appreciate you coming out to, you know, kick some shit with us.
That's what's up.
So, this is not going to be your typical interview.
Okay.
So, you know, we ain't going to get into all the crazy shit like a lot of people. We don't do that shit.
All right.
We consider everybody that come through family, you know what I'm saying? So, we want, you know, to, like, kind of get people to open up. So, you know, get them into some stuff they probably never heard of.
All right.
Excuse me, y'all. I use some tape off of it.
Take.
Action just walked in the room. Y'all know what's happening.
And see, it's gonna be shit like that that's going.
It's
See, that's what makes this podcast so interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah, you get
shit
to
like
see
that.
like the talent come through.
Why
you know
not?
What I'm saying?
Why not? I'm a talent scout, so bring them on.
Yeah, man. But anyway, man, you are from College Park.
CP.
South Side, what's happening? Y'all know what it is.
I'm Forest Park, so it's, you know, it's
South
a little bit.
Yeah. Deep South. Almost deep South.
Yeah, I'm from, you know, right up the block, man.
All right.
You know.
Moreland Ave, Constitution.
Southeast
East Atlanta.
man,
Yeah.
you know.
One time for 4C.
Yeah, Lila Valley.
Thomasville.
That's right around the way.
Tiva.
You know what I'm
Rico,
saying?
what's happening?
Oh, Tiva.
Yeah.
Jesus
Get
Christ.
plugged in on this side. What's happening?
Man.
What kind of stories you got about Moreland?
Yeah.
I know you got some.
I mean, you know, like I said, Rico and Tiva from Thomasville, you know what I'm saying? They're my homeboys, so I've been knowing them for a minute. But, you know, I've been up and down this block for a long time. Deuce Poppy used to stay back right down the street. You know, he over there with Rick Ross. Man, you know, I've been on this block, you know, just moving around the city. I'm all around the city every day. So, you know, this is just another side of town to me. You know what I mean? I'm plugged in everywhere I go.
Right. So, with that being said, we want to take people on like this retrospect about this city, because nowadays people see what we got going on from Housewives, and Love and Hip Hop and all that shit. And true Atlanta people be like, damn, that ain't like the city where we know and where we come from and all that stuff like that.
Right.
So we kind of want to give people like an inside look from a real Atlanta legend, as well as, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a good thing, cause we got some that we gonna fix all that with as well. Me and C-Bone got a project called Dope Stories. It's gonna be a TV/web series, and we gonna give y'all the real A. You feel me?
But see, that's kind of what this show is too.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a scripted. It's a scripted show. It ain't gonna be It's not no reality show or none of that. It's gonna be, you know what I mean, a real series, but real life situations going on in the city.
Right. Okay.
When y'all doing that?
Well, we actually we about to start shooting the first episode. We finishing up the casting for a couple of the parts right now. We should be doing table reads next week, hopefully, and we should be shooting in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So y'all get ready, man. Dope stories on the way.
Oh man. Oh
That's
wow.
what's up.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
y'all planning on filming it like any typical location?
I mean, we got a couple of spots. We got a house over in the Bluff. Of course, we're gonna be on the south side. We got a couple spots
real
on
deal.
Real deal.
Yeah. A couple of spots. Cleveland Avenue.
For those
Man,
who
we
don't
gonna
know
be
what
really,
the Bluff is.
Yeah.
like I said, we're gonna be a little bit of everywhere. You know what I mean? Moving around the city. The whole concept, like I said, it's called Dope Stories. It's about a dope story, like, you know what I mean? It ain't about what you may think it's about. It's a bit about that, but everybody got a dope story the way they get to in life, you know what I mean? Trials and tribulations, things that you've been through, you know what I mean? To get to that next level, that's a dope story. That can be your dope story. So whatever it is, you know what I mean? We about to bring it to life.
Right. That's
about
cool,
the plan.
man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, showcasing Atlanta like that, man.
Why not?
Yeah, we need it.
We very
We
much
need
so need that, man.
Okay,
Because, I think we get a bad rep, you know what I'm saying? Because of all the people on TV and, like I say, the shit you see, because it's not, real to us.
I'm with you, it's reality TV, so it is what it is. You dig what I'm
Right.
saying? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. You already know, like the majority of the folk on there ain't even from there,
Right.
on a lot of these shows. So
Very true.
it is what it is. It's TV, so
Yeah.
they're giving
But-
it to you. But we're gonna try to bring some of the reality, some of the stuff that's really going on in everyday life,
Right.
to the screen.
Sounds interesting, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that to drop.
Y'all get ready, man. Dope Stories on the way. Matter of fact, and we got the apparel jumping off as well. Y'all might have seen the Dope Stories tees running around in the streets right now. So you go to mydopestores.com and you can go pick up some of that gear.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Support
Where's it
that
at?
shit.
mydopestores.com.
.com,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we gonna look
Show
that
notes.
up. Yeah, man. So with that too, like, what's some of the coolest Atlanta stories that you remember that, like, you can share for these people who
Oh man.
may not know shit about the city?
Well, I've been around for a little minute. You know what I mean? So of course the Freaknik was one of the most epic situations ever come through the city. I don't think it'll ever
That comes up a
be
lot.
anything like that. You talking about Woodstock year after year after year, you know what I mean? Like crazy in the city, 200,000 plus. The Olympics, of course, in '96.
Man.
You know what I mean? Man, it's just a lot of stuff, man. I've been blessed to see the transition of the city, you know what I mean? Grow, blow, you know what I mean? So
Damn.
it's just a blessing. Like I said, I've been around for a minute. We actually got another movie that's coming out hopefully this summer called The Products of American Ghetto. Shout out to my homeboy TL Ford. He wrote the book. We got the movie coming out. It's actually about in the 80s when the Miami boys tried to come and take over Atlanta. So y'all check for that project, man. It's coming real soon. The Products of American Ghetto. I'm in a few scenes in that movie as well. I'm really stepping the film game up. So y'all get ready for Calhoun on the screen. It is.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. That's lit. Okay, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Okay, of course, as a fan, as me and Jason are,
Yeah.
how did you get into rapping? Like, what
Oh, man.
started that off, which led you to go to,
Well, for me, to be honest, I've been putting raps together since I probably was in like second grade, for real. So that was a good little while ago. So it was just like when I learned how to tie my shoe, it was the same thing to me. You know what I mean? It was just something I did on the regular. Something I, for some reason, found a love for as a child, and I just continued to do it and continued to grow with it.
How did it come from that to where you was actually in the studio recording?
Well, I mean, it was just a grind process. I mean, I actually was in the studios and stuff like that in the early 90s when I was in high school, working on projects. I mean, Jermaine Dupri, I was in a rap group with a couple of my homeboys called Jigsaw, and
Right.
we actually took a demo to Jermaine Dupri. We was actually rapping over other artists' instrumentals at the time, and he was digging the raps. He just wanted to hear us over more original music, and over time we just continued to progress and keep moving, and I kept elevating with what I was doing. Of course, like I said, that was something that I started in high school, and as time kept going and me keeping the grind going, you know what I mean, I found my way to working with Outkast, Organized Noise, and the rest of the cats.
That had to be big for you.
Yeah,
Like,
shout out to my
yeah.
homeboy, Mr. DJ. He plugged the move.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Shout out to Mr. DJ.
Yeah,
Slim
Wait,
Jim.
no,
Slim
you
Jim,
man.
Slim Jim, Mr.
Yeah,
DJ. Shout out to
Sticky
shout out
Root,
to
what's
them.
happening? Yeah, so it all started like even with the Outkast situation. That started through my homegirl Kid. She was in this rap group called Sidekick, and they had a manager by the name of Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson and Ian Burke were actually Outkast first managers, the Greenhouse Management. And so through that process, Kid was just keeping me abreast on what was going on. This was before Outkast had even dropped. PA first had put their first project out, Parental Advisory. So some of y'all who may know about
Hold on.
the
That's
old
Big Reese, right?
Yeah, Big Reese,
Yeah.
Mellow Capone one time, KP, Kwan Prather. So
Man.
it
That's
started.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's history, boy.
Yeah,
That's
so
history.
it started way back then. Me and DJ linked up. He was he was actually Outkast DJ at the time, and I came to him as far as production, and he was like, all right, check this out, let's get together. I asked him what he was charging for the beats. He actually hadn't even produced anything yet, but they was working on the second Outkast album. He wanted $1,500 a beat. I tell him, okay, cool, we gonna make this happen. My aunt was plugged in with Bobby Brown's sister at the time, so she plugged me with Boss Town Studio, which is now Stankonia. But the first record I did with DJ, we did at Boss Town, and we went in. It was a record called Time Lock, which was actually on the Skinny, my first album, and we actually did that song probably in like 95, 96, to be honest. And
The one that came out in 01.
yeah, exactly. The
It's
first
actually
time,
like the
time,
anniversary for that, right?
yeah. Well, it just passed earlier this month,
Like on the 10th, right?
Yeah, April 11th, I think it was. Yeah. So
Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
appreciate
Congratulations,
that.
man.
But yeah, me and DJ did Time Lock. That was the first record we actually recorded. We went back to the house and he was like, hey man, you don't gotta give me no more money. He was like, let's just work. So we continued to record a couple records. He was on the road with Outkast at the time, playing some of the stuff that we was doing. A few years had passed, and he called me out the blue one day and he was like, what you think about signing with Outkast? Now of course they didn't have a label situation or nothing that anybody knew of at the
Just an
time.
idea.
So I'm like, what you mean? He was like, well, they about to do a label. They interested in making you the first artist. And I actually did an interview a couple of days ago with their manager at the time, Michael Blue Williams, and he was talking about how I was actually the first artist, the only artist actually that Big and Dre both agreed upon, wanting to get behind. So just to know that was a blessing. And we, as you hear the Outkast, that's Mr. DJ on the beat. If you
That's
hear that
crazy.
beat in the background, the
irony.
DJ in a whole nother room playing, and y'all see how God working.
What a
The
coincidence.
irony,
did.
bro.
But like I said, DJ plugged me in. Matter of fact, what's so crazy, this record that's playing in the background right now, we were actually on the road, and they had some situation. Outkast and DJ had some business situations that had transpired, and he decided to just go full-fledged with the production and get off the road. We was actually in Tallahassee at the Moon. They did a show down there, and that was the last show he actually performed as a DJ for Outkast. He came back home, and the record, one of the first records that he ever produced that came out was this record playing in the background, 8 Ball and
Throw your
MJG.
hands up.
So
History.
y'all already
attention.
know, man. It's going down right now, live and in your face.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm kind of speechless
Yeah, that's-
right now.
Did you playing this?
Hey man, I wish.
Somebody,
it's already been written, man. We just here to execute the plan. You dig?
man, dog, that's crazy. Like, this is so,
I didn't know that he did this.
Me
I didn't know that
either.
he
Yeah,
did this.
yeah. DJ actually did this beat. This one of the beats. On this what is that? I can't remember which 8 Ball and MJG project.
In Our Lifetime.
Yeah, In Our Lifetime.
Yeah, that's my favorite project.
The records that were produced on this, he actually, cause Rico Wade is his cousin, so he called Rick. He was like, man, I'm ready to come home and just get into the beats. And the beats that they did on this project, DJ actually produced those beats.
Cause I thought Organized Noise did the whole.
Yeah, he
You're right.
did
it,
the whole
it was
thing.
no. It was
collaborative
collaborative
effort.
because he actually came in up under them as a producer. So he did those.
You
yeah.
gotta be fired. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta be good.
very good. Because if not, I don't even know if it'll sound the same if you
Man.
wasn't like super dope with it.
That's crazy.
And I actually talked to DJ Thursday. We ran into each other and he was like, man, we got to get back in. So actually me and Mr. DJ about to get back in and do something. I got a 5 or 6 song compilation I'm working on right now with Carl Mo. Y'all might know Carl Mo from
Definitely
The Way
know
You
Carl
Move.
Mo.
and
Definitely know Carl
Shout
Mo.
to Swing My Way and all
Yeah.
that. So
Damn.
I got a couple of other projects that's in the making right now. So y'all get ready. More music,
Yeah,
more
Carl Mo.
films, more everything on the way.
That's crazy.
He's
That is
he's in
fucking-
Decatur, ain't he?
That's fucking ill.
Nah,
bro.
Carl Mo from the South Side, College Park.
But is he out in Decatur now?
No. He's still on the South. Yeah, he deep South down there past from where you from, past Forest Park.
Okay.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's where
Bro,
he is.
that is like the most epic fucking story I've ever heard in my
Hey.
life.
I learned.
I learned a lot of shit like from producing music or just catching a vibe from that whole era of music being here.
I mean,
like
that era
Dungeon Family
that era
shit,
raised us. I mean, I was in
it
high school.
raised me.
I was in
what's
10,
up.
10, 11th grade
Dog,
when that
like
stuff was coming out.
I remember skipping school to go pick up an Outkast album.
That's what's up.
And the thing was, like, prime example, I was watching MTV Classics, which is a new station they got.
Okay.
They fucked around and showed Bombs Over Baghdad video.
Okay.
And I seen this guy in the Cadillac, man, swerving that thing.
You already know, man. Bouncing,
Somebody
man,
was
right
the
on
switch,
Bankhead.
You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yeah.
bruh, that shit is so crazy.
Swerving through the
Like,
city.
4 a.m, they showing this shit right now. And I'm like, damn. Slam was
man.
on the switch, bro.
That's
like,
when the A
somebody
was
on
the A.
switch.
You dig?
Yeah.
Like,
We was trying to, just have fun, create a different lane, and get the city hot. You dig? Now you see what's going on, man. Atlanta like the #1 market, for music. So
Y'all are the originators, man.
we've been grinding for a long
For a
time
long
to make it
time.
happen.
and you
Yeah.
played a pivotal role in that because I feel like songs like, It's Okay
Yeah.
to even the records that they didn't even hear. Like one of my favorites was the one with Killer Mike. And it was Whale?
Oh well, yeah.
And the crazy shit was the first time I actually heard the beat, I heard Paul Wall and Chameleon there. They actually rapped over the shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like back then,
Okay.
before the whole Houston thing
Shout
took
out
off.
to Paul Wiz and Chameleon now.
The shit was crazy. I was like, damn, whose song is this? Then I fucked around and had the hard copy of his album. I was like, damn,
Yeah, man.
that's where it came. And then that was like my first taste of Killer Mike,
Okay,
which
okay.
tripped me out. And I was like, yo, this shit is
I heard
crazy.
him on was it Stank on You?
Okay, gangster shit.
Nah, he won. What?
Oh, you talking about Killer Mike? Oh,
yeah,
snapping and trapping.
Yeah.
Snapping and trapping.
Yeah.
But on gangster shit though, you
ate that motherfucker,
you kind
though.
of went off a little bit.
Nah, he didn't kind of. Nah, he
man.
jumped out the curb with that one, dog.
Why not? Why
Y'all
not?
know that I'm from CP.
Yeah,
Man, what? The illest shit
Yeah.
I've ever heard was on that album, man.
Okay.
Like,
That man, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I had a bootleg copy of that at first. But look, the song it got switched up like twice, didn't it?
Which
Gangsta shit.
Oh
Gangsta shit got
'cause-
switched up once or twice at least.
This is what we had. We actually rapped over.
I always wanted to know
We all
this.
rapped over the original because how the song actually came about. We came from the club. Everybody left from the club. It was like 4, 5 in the morning. I went home. Big C-Bone and Carmo and a few other cats. They stayed at the studio that night. So I came to the studio the next day, probably around 11 or 12 in the evening, and soon as I came in, everybody was still at the studio from the night before. So they were like, man, we did a crazy one last night. So I think it was only Big and C-Bone verse on there when I first heard the record, and we had just the raw gangster shit beat.
Yeah.
And then of course everybody else that started coming in, I was like, I gotta get on this. I went on and dropped my verse, and then we just started placing everything. Then of course Dre came in, did his thing, and then they started adding a little more instrumentation. So the one version you may have heard was the original
Studio
version.
version.
The studio
The
version
first
that
studio version, yeah.
we all just that was like getting it done. Like everybody just get on the beat. And then like I said, they flexed it out, and then of course Greg Street put it on one of his projects, so they did a remix to it as well. So it's like
That
3
shit was
different
hard,
versions of that record.
I did buy it too though. I mean,
Okay,
just to let you
I
know.
still got the hard
You know
copy.
that's
That's all those.
that's back in the Napster days. So I had that thing about a month early.
LimeWire.
But I still bought it though.
Yeah.
And when I
You had
heard
to
when I heard
support.
gangster shit, the intro, it was out of order the shit I had. When I heard gangster shit, it sounded different. It sounded better,
you know
but
what's crazy,
it sounded
bro?
different.
My mom, that was like the only time she would get me out of school for shit like that. Like, Mom, I got this Outkast by the drive. I need to go get that. And she would like, all right, I got you. Don't trip.
That's what's up,
Like,
man.
that shit crazy.
Yeah.
Outkast always been hot in the city, like trying to get you a brand new pair of J's when that
That's what I was
first
just
coming
thinking
out.
about.
You
Yeah,
dig?
but I think it was more so the collective period. Everything you guys brought to the table, not just Outkast, but everybody.
Yeah, because it was more than Outkast
than
was
that.
the
I mean, you know,
probably
It
the
was
main
like
focus, but it was everybody.
It was
Yeah, the
everybody
squad.
because
The squad, you know, we deep. You got Goody, you got Backbone, you know, Cool Breeze, The Witch Doctor, Lil Will, Big Rule,
Man.
Organized Noise.
These only one.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
yeah.
we deep. Killer Kill, Black on C-Bone, you know. We deep.
What's
now.
Cool Breeze up to?
Cool Breeze been working, man. We just did a show about 2 or 3 weeks ago 2 weeks ago over in East Atlanta. We all actually are doing a show May 19th, Wolf Creek. We're going to be on stage, so y'all come out if y'all in the city.
God, fucking crazy.
All of y'all Dungeon family?
Well, not everybody.
Well, just most of the
me,
Dungeon family, though.
Cool Breeze, Backbone, Gip,
Yeah, we got to show it well.
and Lil Will. We're going to all do a few records, so y'all
Lil
come out.
Will.
Lil Will.
The most infamous gave a Lil Will CD and a poster.
You already know.
Man, that's like the line. That's the line.
Right. For years, I tried to figure out who that guy was,
Yeah,
bro.
Lil Will looking for Nicki, man. Y'all know what's happening.
Yeah, I found it out. I did eventually find that out.
That's crazy,
crazy.
bro. That's crazy. So, okay, how did you come up with some of your album content, like, from the past? Like, because, like I say, it's such a epic album to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, from, like I said, It's Okay to the Cut song, all that shit like that.
Okay, Dirt Work,
Yeah.
Time Lock, Worldly Ways, My Buddy, The Skinny. Man, really, to be honest, man, I write just how I feel, and you know, whatever come out on those beats, it's just an expression, and that's how I do it. It's no real method to the madness. The music really gotta pull it out, because I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes I write stuff. It's records that I've written, like Worldly Ways, for instance. That's probably one of my favorite personal records, and just like sometimes when I write them records, it's almost like I write them unconsciously. I'm not really even understanding or
trying,
even
I'm just letting your soul bleed,
exactly.
Right.
And then when I go back and listen to it, then I'm like, damn, how did I do that? You know what I'm saying? So it tripped me out sometimes, but it's all about, I just let the emotions flow. That's it.
That's interesting, because, like, if you watch the video for It's Okay, it was such like a like the flow was so laid back and chill, but the video was like on some Alice in Wonderland shit.
Right.
Like, it was crazy, but it worked.
Man,
so that's why I was like, damn, it's so crazy and epic, but it makes sense.
Yeah, well, with the visual, you just want you always want to try to bring life to those words, you know what I mean, and bring it to life. So we try to have fun and be creative all the time with everything. That's just part of the DF itself, you know what I mean? Like, everybody does what they do. We all have similar goals, but at the end of the day, I'm me, Cool Breeze is Cool Breeze, Backbone, Goody, Outcast. Everybody got their own little particulars within whatever it is they do, but we all try to be creative as far as, the visuals and just presenting the whole project as a whole.
Are you independent, or are you signed?
I'm independent, man. Yeah, I got a little digital situation through Empire that I'm working, so
Empire.
I'm putting records out, non-stop, man. We about to start flooding the block. I got the 420 Loose Leaf project out right now. Just came out the other day, man, so y'all can go get that. Spinrilla, my mixtapes. We got hard copies in the streets. I got a couple of my homeboys on there. C-Bone on there, Lil Will. Record produced by Carmo. DJ Brad produced the record on there. Man, like I said, number Smoke records on that one, though. Loose Leaf, man. Y'all go get that one and fire something up.
It is a 420 compilation.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So it's, you're a big advocate of the
Why
other
not?
Mary.
Why not? I'm a why not guy, A little smoke ain't never hurt nobody, man.
That should be like a fucking American campaign slogan. Why not?
Why not?
Smoke ain't never hurt nobody.
I'm saying, man, I ain't against it, man. I'm waiting on them to legalize that stuff right here in Georgia. Hopefully it'll come soon, man.
Hopefully we ain't the last ones in
Yeah, because
man.
on the
planet
planet
to do it.
Well, the mayor out in Clarkston actually was trying to decriminalize marijuana in Clarkston.
Yeah.
So he's trying to be progressive with some steps, and we got some other folk in the state trying to work on a few things. So hopefully it'll come soon.
I think that's like very important too, as far as like having it decriminalized, because it's a lot of homies and stuff that caught some bogus ass charges and shit.
I done caught them charges.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's fucked up, like, that you got me on some bullshit like this, but
Hey man, me personally, see, I think alcohol worse than weed.
No,
you feel me? So
that's I
you
think
know what I mean?
that's proven. That's not even a
really
personal.
Yeah,
That's
so-
proven.
Shit you buy at McDonald's is worse.
Yeah, believe it.
what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
Like,
and then for the medicinal purposes, period. You know what I mean? Just what it can help. You know, how many people it can actually help out here. You know what I mean? That's the main thing at the end of the day too. So, you know, we gonna figure it out hopefully.
Drinking and driving versus
Smoking
on weed and driving.
Smoking and driving.
It's a totally different situation. You don't feel invincible.
If anything, them folks gonna be stopped at the light, not moving. If
Might
anything,
catch a
they high.
Nah, you just drive like 20 in a 45. That's probably the worst thing that you can do.
Yeah, that's
Oh
about
my
it.
God,
But
you're driving too slow. You're gonna kill us all.
yeah, man. So
Shit like that. You know
hopefully
what I'm
they
saying?
get it right real soon.
But yeah, man, like, so what was some of your inspirations as far as like when you rap? Like, who were people that you looked up to, or like, damn, that flow is kind of dope, or you know what I'm saying? I can fuck with that shit.
A lot of artists, man. Of course, growing up, we had younger artists. Run DMC, of course, was definitely a big one. Dana Dane, you know what I mean? A lot of style, a lot of flavor. Rakim.
Bars.
I mean, and then
Whole
you go
bunch of bars.
into folk like Redman. I mean, Redman to me
Reggie
is,
Noble. I fucks with Red.
He always was dope.
I feel like he was underrated though, because
I
he
don't
can
know
really
why.
fucking
He,
spit.
to me, he
I don't
is
think
near.
he got that proper shine as he should have to me, because I hold Redman in high regard.
I do too personally.
Nah, yeah, I do too. He's definitely one of the.
I was
he's
a
up there.
Def Squad, Hit Squad fan. You know what I
Keith
mean?
Murray and all them.
all of
Over
them.
Wu Tang.
I mean, that
kinda
was
go
before,
hand in
it started before
It
Wu
did.
Tang. So you know, I was a fan of that before Wu Tang. Of course, I'm a Wu Tang fan too. We actually been trying to work on some stuff. Hopefully that may pan out with some Wu Tang and DF touring. So
What
we're gonna see
the
if
fuck,
that happens.
bruh?
If y'all do that,
But
shut down.
I'm
I
a fan
have
of
to-
all music. Tupac, Biggie, Jigga. I mean, you know,
What about-
Nas.
What about new stuff? Like
New stuff?
new young these young dudes. What-
New
how you-
young dude, Scotty. I'm a Future fan. You know, my little brother Future doing this thing. Who else? Who else dope? Kendrick. I like a lot of new. I mean, it's a lot of records I like. I like the Migos. You know what I mean? I think they do what they do
How can you not like
Yeah.
the Migos?
to the top.
I think it kind of, they force you to like them because you don't have a choice.
But the flavor that they,
'Cause
I mean, they
shit
created.
just-
It's
yeah.
see, like I said, it's all about creativity. And at the end of the day, what it is, I feel like they have creatively done it the best. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's not a lot of it. You hear a lot of people try to, you know, replicate what they do, but it's
Right.
not the same. And so I think, like I said, I like the Migos personally. I get a lot of questions sometimes about what you think about old Atlanta versus new Atlanta or the new music and all this. But like I tell people, even when I was younger, it was other artists that was out then that I didn't like. It's
Right.
other genres of music that I don't personally listen to. Everybody got their own choices, you know what I mean? So you gonna get into what you into, you know what I mean? You like we grew up on Booty Shake music, you know what I mean? Luke and stuff like that, but that ain't the music that I personally made. But when I go to the club or you know what I mean, stuff like that, it's something that I still want to hear. You feel me? So it's all kind of music out here, man. It's all, as long as you having fun and you believe in it, what you putting out there, that's all that matters.
Okay,
I agree.
so being that we are in the strip club,
Okay.
what was some of your favorite records to hear in the club? Was it like your kilos?
Oh, I
or
mean,
your-
Kilo, definitely. Well, back then, certain eras, I had different records. You know, Poison Clan. I mean, you know, we can go to a lot of 3-6 Mafia.
nah, we gotta go
you
through
feel
all
me?
that.
Tear the Club Up might still
yeah.
be one of those
Yeah,
one of
but
those
I don't
ones.
know if I
Maybe
wanna
not for the
hear-
strip club, but
I don't
for a
want to hear
club.
Tear the Club Up in the strip club because it might literally go down.
Hey,
That's like Nuck If You Buck. That's
Right.
still
It-
one of them ones that
Right.
always get
you
it
know
going.
what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, but
I mean, it's
it
a lot
worked.
of, it's a lot of older records, you know, back in the day that set the club off, most definitely. Strife set it off.
Oh,
you
man.
know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Set it
So,
off on the left. And for people who don't know who made that song, it's Strife.
yeah, so
All black people know that record, but they don't know who the hell sung it.
Yeah,
That's
Strife.
the craziest shit in the world.
yeah, so like I said, man, you know, it's been a lot of good music that came through these strip clubs, most definitely.
Right, and you contributed to that though. man.
Why not?
Like, that's crazy. How you feel about that? Like, the shit that you've done, like, have you ever just sat back and, like, just really analyze
it's hard.
what you
I think
did.
it's hard
Because-
when you're in the motion of doing it. You don't realize what you're doing.
You know what? And with you saying that, because actually one day, one of my close homeboys, he was like, this is well after I came out all that, and one day we was just sitting around talking. He was like, hey, bro, you don't even know what you meant to the city when you came out. And I was looking at him like, man, what the hell are you talking about?
It's
He
true.
was
It sounds-
like,
it
look,
sounds
dude,
crazy, but it's
he was
true.
like, the whole world wanted to know who Outkast was about to put out. And I was like,
You was that guy, bro.
I mean, that makes sense, but like you said, when you living in it and you doing
You don't
it,
realize what
and
you're
see,
doing,
I'm the type, I ain't gonna change for nothing. So I don't see it no other way. You know what I mean? I'm in these clubs, I'm everywhere, solo, with whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the streets every day. I'm out here every day with my homeboys, without my homeboys, it don't matter. I just move around and do what I do.
I'm just
Period.
happy to
You
see
know
you.
what I mean?
I'm happy to
We
see you
still
out here.
create music. It's still, you know what I mean? We still doing what we doing, having fun doing it.
But the thing is, like for me, like I said, 2001, I was fucking in the 9th grade.
Okay.
That was the craziest shit in the world. But having that album, it was like, damn. To like fast forward now, and I sit back and like look at it like.
See, I was in the 12th grade, so I was
That
doing the
shit
Club
was
SOs with a fake
Okay,
ID card.
okay,
On
okay.
Cortland, the SOs on
I'm
Cortland.
with
Not,
you.
not the second
the
SO.
first SOs. Okay.
The one where you go to
Right
straight
down
to
the street from Pine Street.
You walk
I'm with
in,
you.
go to the right, go straight downstairs to the down south room.
Exactly.
Damn.
And it was super lit.
Yeah,
That's
the first
crazy.
SO. They were supposed to be having. I saw on the Instagram they supposed to be doing like a SO reunion sometime soon. So they supposed to be putting it.
That shit
somewhere.
gonna be mayhem,
SOs
bro.
was like shaking ass city.
Yeah.
But that's crazy though. Like, see, for me, like growing up around strip clubs, like, cause my father he owned the body tap and shit.
Okay.
And Club Nick, like
Okay.
that's where he started.
Shout out to Billy.
Yeah, one time for
Mr.
that.
Billy.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Billy knows.
One time for Billy.
Yeah, but that's the crazy thing, like seeing like all this music come out and just seeing like people's reaction to it.
Right.
And being a fan, it's like, damn, I wonder, does this guy actually know what he really did? Like I told my father that, like, yo, you really changed the trajectory of how people act in a strip club. You know what I'm saying? With how you redesigned the club from having a shower room in
Right.
there, or even before then when it burned down and they came back with the Lil Jon video and shit,
Right.
like the Get Low video, just all that stuff. I'm like, I think people like yourself should like really just sit back and like really look at what you've done, like, cause you really changed a lot of shit, even with your flow, like, because it was so melodic and
Yeah.
laid back to me.
Abstract a little bit
Yeah,
too.
you know what I'm saying? And
It's dope as
yeah,
fuck.
when
Then nobody, you didn't sound like nobody.
And then
Still
when
don't
you
sound like
had
nobody.
the,
What's
like
up?
the lyrics and shit to it, like what you were actually saying, it was like, damn, this shit is really crazy.
I
Like,
appreciate it.
I felt like it was more so Southern Smoking Records, because it was so laid the fuck back.
I'm sure he was high
I don't know.
in the making.
Probably so.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of weed smoke.
But it was like abstract with a splash of pimp shit and
Wow,
Oh yeah,
just
definitely.
street shit. It was just all of those elements combined in one.
There's a bunch of Atlanta
It was
shit.
right,
Cool ass Atlanta shit.
right.
Hey,
but
man.
see, the thing was that 2001, all you really had was like the Outcast for this city, like. And you, Lil Jon was
At that
just
time-
kind of
Yeah,
catchy.
John. Yeah, because
Yeah.
right after the Stank on it and
Yeah.
all that, that's when John first started.
Phil
really-
Mob, Phil Mob jumped off.
Yeah,
2001
Phil
too.
Mob was put. Yeah, no, yeah,
But
that's
it's-
when they first came,
Yeah, they
came
jumped
out
out.
around
That
the
was
same
Ashley
time.
Classic.
Yeah.
Crazy album.
Yeah.
That's classic too.
Yeah, but see, like, as far as a major standpoint, like, from seeing, like, this shit on BET on a regular or MTV or whatever, like, the box, all that shit,
The box.
we saw this guy, like, damn, that shit crazy. And it was some real Atlanta shit.
Yeah, we was on the box.
So it was like, damn, do you ever, like, get a chance to, like, stop and, like, oh, shit, I really changed some shit. Like, you contributed to a city.
I'm just thankful for being a part of it. You know what I mean, with the team, man. You know what I mean. Like I say, we still trying to create new lanes, new avenues, create something cool, new every day. You know, music and culture continues to change and grow. So you know, I'm just trying to continue to make my contributions and keep this city pumping, man. That's it.
But you did that though. Like, that's the
Yeah.
thing though. That's why I said this shit is so fucking epic, because of what you've done.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, so it's like the illest shit in the world to me as a fan.
Okay.
And I'm super appreciative. Like, I can't
It's all
stress
love.
that shit enough.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming out too, man.
Like, you
shout out
have-
to Slimm Jim for setting this whole
Yeah, one
for that
time,
jam, man.
man.
Slim Jim, Sticky Roo, my partner from the South Side. What's up, Fresh? D.
Oh shit. I'm gonna do something new tonight.
What's that? What you gonna do?
I'm gonna do something new tonight. Slim, you're gonna be the first person to try this shit out.
All right.
We got this thing, what we gonna start doing is called War Stories.
Okay.
War Stories is basically like one of the dopest fucking stories that you ever had, like, happen in your life from.
Without telling on yourself.
Yeah. Without incriminating yourself, whether it be like groupie stories, because we are in a strip club, we gonna kind of,
All right. Well,
shit like that. Like,
the dopest story, you just
Because-
killed it right there. I'm going to get it to you off the muscle. I know where
Okay,
you're going.
okay.
Dopest story is 5 girls, 1 night, 1 house.
let me hit
That's
the
it.
water real quick.
ASAP.
Damn.
Yeah. Play with it. The cutter is still here.
Shit.
How many can say that?
That's
Cut a
crazy.
Calhoun.
Yeah.
Because, see, for me, I'm always fascinated when I get a chance to talk to artists and shit.
And
about,
I was like 19.
wow.
This we talking about before
Stamina.
before the music had jumped out.
See, that's crazy to me.
I get too tired now. That's too much.
I'm going in.
Yeah, man, we young and been having it,
I'm
man.
going in. I don't give a
I'm
damn.
for married kids.
Nah.
That's too
I'm
much.
out
Give
here
me
in
one.
these streets. But the reason why, because I'm always fascinated with artists and their stories. Like, because you go to so many fucking cities and you see all this shit.
What city was this in?
Actually, like I said, that was before the music game jumped out. So
Oh,
Damn.
man.
So
So
what
shit.
did it increase to like 20 at a time?
Hey, man.
Hey,
Jumped off?
man. Hey, man, he got
Shit,
the
they be
name for a
trying.
reason, man.
That's
They
great.
I ain't gonna lie though, they called me the cutter for a reason, man. That's where it all
Hey,
started,
man.
man.
I
Me and
can't-
Cool Breeze, shout out to, like I said, Freddie Chico, Cool Breeze. Y'all know what's happening, Cool Cutter.
That's crazy, man.
The coolest cut at.
Yeah,
camp.
we actually gonna put a couple records out, you know what I mean? So
I can't wait
we
for that
still
shit.
working on a few things too.
Man, I'm glad to hear. Please keep making
Please,
Me and
man, for the
Backbone
sake
got a
of
few records,
like us, please.
We just put music out. Like I said, music, films, definitely in the process, man. So y'all stay tuned, man. Dope Stories on the way. Y'all go get that 420 compilation. Y'all can download that right now. My mixtape, Spinrilla,
Please
Loose
download
Leaf.
that shit, man.
Yeah,
Loose
so
Leaf.
This shit is
420
actually dope
compilation.
as fuck, man.
yeah, man. It's
The
a
Test Pilot is my favorite record. Like
Test
I
probably
said.
the first record on there.
That's probably my favorite record.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you a little secret too on here. I got a song on here that's actually about 12 to 13 years old called "Smoke for Free." I did that song a long time ago, but I never put it out.
How long ago?
Probably about 12 or 13 years ago, and I was like, man, I'm about to pull some of this other stuff out the vault, and it's one of the jam. It's one of my favorite records on there as well.
Why did it never get put out for? What happened?
Well, I never. It was a whole nother beat. It's just a song I never did anything.
you got revamped.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I went in the process. Actually, the beat just was done last week. Like I sent my guy the old session, and he remade a whole beat, a whole new beat to it, and I added it to the move. So I got a lot of jewels, man. We about to keep dropping these bombs on y'all.
Man, so appreciative, man. I'm just like, I can't quit talking because there's so much shit I want to fucking know, man.
Hey.
Like, okay, like I said, what's the craziest city you've ever been to?
Craziest city, Colorado, probably.
That was
And I'm-
recent.
Like,
well, nah, it wasn't
recently or, like-
it was a few years back, but the reason I say that is because I had a party in Colorado, and I remember everybody was buying us drinks, and they was just handing us drinks all night. So we just shooting whatever they was pouring, whatever. And I remember me and my DJ Lucky Calhoun, shout out to Lucky Calhoun. We got on the plane. We had a red eye that morning. We got on the plane, and it wasn't a good thing. And we shut down the whole back galley. No food, no drinks for nobody.
Oh my
So,
God.
but that was one of the wildest, craziest times I had, man, because it was just crazy. And you don't know too many people ever shut down a plane.
Right.
Nah.
So, not at all. So what's
can't
your
say
favorite place to perform? What's the best
Favorite place? Now I'm gonna
that
tell you one of the coolest places I performed is a place called the Gorge at George. So out on the West Coast. Is that? I think it's in Cali or Washington. It might be in Washington State. I can't even remember where it is. But it's like, man, you got to drive up in these mountains. on like the 2-lane crazy cartoon looking roads, and the backdrop is off of like into a canyon. It's basically like you basically out in the open canyon in the mountains.
You're in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah,
probably.
exactly. And that was probably one of the coolest places that I've ever performed.
Oh man, that's crazy. Man.
Yeah, the Gorge at George.
That is ridiculous, man. Like, I always wanted to know what that felt like to actually rock a crowd, like, of
singing
people,
your lyrics and just,
people you don't even know.
It's gotta be
shit you thought
unreal.
of, like,
Well,
just in the basement or whatever.
It's always been a blessing. Now, like you was talking about earlier, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just don't really pay attention. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. I will say this. Probably the only show that I ain't gonna say the only show that I was nervous, but probably the most nervous that I've ever been in my life. And why, I don't know, was actually the One Music Fest, the last big show that we all did.
The one that just passed here?
The one that just passed here. That was because it was crazy. I was tripping and everything. I don't know what was going on with me that day, but that was
a big show though, and
yeah,
I think the city was anticipating. There's a lot of anticipation behind
the
it.
only thing that I could think that probably made me nervous, that was the first and only show that my mom and my dad saw me perform. So
that might have been it too.
Maybe that was it.
That was probably
that made you nervous?
That's the only thing I can think, bro. But that's
crazy.
Well, see, I mean, a lot of folk get nervous. You know what I mean? As far as you know what I'm saying, you get butterflies, but you ain't like scared. You feel me? But I wasn't scared, but I don't know what was going on that day. I'm just telling you, I was tripping. You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy though, man.
And it was like right before I had to go on. I'm like, man, I can't breathe. I don't know what's going on.
You was having anxiety.
Oh,
Yeah.
man,
Like,
that's
man, what the hell
trippy.
going on? I'm tripping. I'm sweating and shit. So, but it ain't matter. Cause when they hit the button, it was time to go, baby. I had to go.
You forget
rock.
about everything.
Yeah,
You just
man.
thinking
Everything
about
else
that.
go out the window. Now, some of the hardest venues are smaller venues. Like, to be honest, the bigger the show, the easier it is for me. The smaller venues are harder because they're a lot more intimate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be honest, big shows, you got a lot more room to mess up. Trust me, because it's just a lot more going on. Smaller, when you in smaller,
It's more
clubs,
intimate, more personal.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't think people think about that though.
and people you can see everything that's
Right.
going on. You know what I'm saying? So when you on big stages and people just everywhere, it don't matter. Everybody in there just rocking out, having fun anyway. So
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to do bigger shows than it is smaller shows, to be honest. For me personally.
I can't believe that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still shocked as fuck that we sit next to this guy, man.
Hey,
Like,
man, we got a legend in the building,
Hey
man.
man,
Real
I'm out here
Atlanta
every day,
legend.
man. Like he said, he saw me at South Lake. You know what I mean? You can see me, you can find me anywhere, cause I'm moving around the city, man. You might catch me at your local gas station, grocery store, whatever. You feel
Right.
me?
Say don't do what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say something.
Say what's up.
Yeah,
No,
man,
just
I'm
look, just say
approachable.
what's up
I'm
to the
approachable.
guy.
I'm a cool cat, man. I ain't never tripping, man. Everybody out here just trying to make it every day. Me too. So
Okay.
get it how you get it.
So you working with any new people like now, like as far as producers or artists?
Well, I got an artist that I'm trying to put up under my belt. His name is AO. He's a real dope artist. So y'all get ready to check for him, man. He got a lot of cool records. It ain't really what you gonna hear in the club, you feel me? Like
Okay.
he got some whole other, music, you know what I mean? So I could, if I was to try, I'm not gonna say compare him to, but music lane wise, it would be more of a J. Cole, Kendrick,
Okay.
Oh,
Cash
country
type
kinda
of-
guy.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
To some,
Even
to
that
some
even that
degree.
word sounds a little bit like
It's hard to really
Yeah.
say conscious, but you know what I mean. Has a conscious, you know what I mean, effort to it, but it ain't just, you know.
it's
what I
not
mean?
mumble rap.
Yeah,
Right.
he's
saying something.
Yeah, he's saying.
Got
he's
something to
saying
say.
something.
Content.
You know what I mean? Real messages. You know what I mean? Definitely content.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Right.
y'all check for AO.
What about you? Music wise.
Man, music wise, like I said, get the loose leaf. Working on the Calhoun Suites project right now. The Skinny 2 hopefully will be out this fall. I'm gonna put that out no matter
Skinny
what. Scorpio Love, that project will be out October.
So you got at least 2 coming out this year then. 2 more.
I'm trying to put out a couple more compilations, man. To be honest, I told my homeboy earlier, man, I'm gonna put out a couple of compilations, mixtapes in the project. So hopefully like 5 more pieces before the end of the year. I'm gonna try to drop like an EP or something, maybe Memorial Day. So next month we're gonna give y'all at least 5 or 6 more records.
What about producers?
Producers, I got a couple new producers. My little cousin Pro Kid, he on the beats. Champ D's on the beats. I'm working with a lot of the cats that I've been working with. Like I said, Carl Mo. Me and the Honorable C-Note supposed to be cooking up a couple.
Man.
I got a few on the way from Shouter Red.
C-Note.
Shouter Red got me. Who else? Mr. DJ.
Mr. DJ, yeah.
Most definitely. And I got a couple, like I said, a couple other up and coming producers. G Money, he just did I can't even think of the guy's name. Gino, I think. It's a record. I can't even think of the record, but they play it a lot. But he got a couple hot records that's bubbling right now. So I got a couple up and coming producers that's making hot records for some cats in the city, man. So y'all get ready.
Okay. One more time.
What's up?
One thing. Last thing. Because we don't just do podcasts. We do all kind of shit. From video production to music production.
Okay.
So, totally free. If we gave you a record, would you drop something on it? Crazy.
Man, just send me something
Like,
crazy and
just
let's
something
cook.
crazy.
Let's cook up, man. I'm working.
I'm going to just put it out there.
I'm working nonstop, man. Be honest, man. I'm working. So whatever you got, send it.
That's
if y'all
what we
looking
gonna
for me, you can send the beats to Curbstone Digital at Gmail.
Curbstone Digital.
Yeah, Curbstone Digital at Gmail, or hit me at 447212920, and we can make some shape.
That's what we're going to do.
Make it happen.
We're going to make that happen.
Slimm Calhoun, man, we appreciate you.
Man,
coming.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate your time.
One time for the Foxy Lady, now the office, man. We out here kicking it, man.
Shout out to Twan and Steve.
Steve.
Twan, say something, Twan.
Twan said he
Say
going to
something,
drop some
What up?
bars, though.
Hey man, you know I love it, man. I love it anytime we get somebody to come through and fuck with us. You know, Slimm be at the other spot, Pizza Bar.
Yeah,
Heavy,
you
he fuck
already
with us
know.
up out here on the south
You already
side.
Yeah.
One time for Mr. One Wheel in the back,
I
Myron
see you.
Sim.
I see you.
And shout out to Stone.
Hey, man. Yeah, one time
Stone
for
from
Stone.
Stone Space back there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can say what's up, Stone.
I was gonna make that nigga Slimm spit some bar, but I ain't gonna fuck with him tonight though.
It's on the way, man.
You know,
We got-
Twan is a rapper too.
Yeah, he a
on the
rapper.
low, on the low though, on the low.
Okay. Just on the low though. Yeah, man.
Hey, man.
Man,
Oh, yeah,
I
hey.
appreciate y'all, man. I had fun, man. Y'all
Oh,
come
man.
out, man. Y'all get ready for the new office. Man,
definitely.
it about to jump back off in East Atlanta, man. So y'all know what's
Ooh,
happening.
about to set it off.
Yeah, man. Friend to the family, y'all. Slimm Calhoun, man.
Stuzi J Sky Show.
One time.